I'm not a Marvel character. I'm not the last airbender. I'm this guy. And if you like poetry, subscribe to this channel because that's all we do around here. Enjoy.
What's going on, y'all, bro? Feel me? Welcome back to the poetry channel, bro. You know. Oh, bro. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. You feel me? And if you do like poetry and you know you want to talk about it with somebody, you feel me? Hey, this is a poetry-based channel. You feel me? You know, so it would help a lot if you sub. You know, like the video, comment something. But you know, this channel's on a little light grind. You know, I've been focusing on the main channel lately. But for today's video, one of my friends brought it up to my attention that they said I should talk about poems involving depression. And you know, depression is a real touchy subject because there's a lot of people, especially last year, there was a lot of people that went through depression. Me myself, you know, included. You know, I went through depression, still kind of, you know, fighting it a little bit, but they told me to basically just try to talk about depression in poetry, or how to talk about their own depression through poetry. Now, really, honestly, I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't know necessarily what to say, but the thing is, everybody has their own story, and there's always, you know, there's always a point of where you're about to break, and that's probably like at your lowest low, and you didn't even know it. Like they always say, like, you know, a minor setback for a major comeback and stuff like that. But when it comes down to depression, especially talking about it or writing about it through poetry, I feel like you find shit about yourself, and you discover new shit about yourself. Like with me, there were some moments last year where I'm pretty sure it couldn't get any worse. Yeah, it did. And writing it out kind of helped a little bit, because here's the thing about depression. You're at the point of where you could probably just say fuck it, or you could just say forget everything and just try to move on, or act like nothing's happening, or, you know, cope with it, or what's the name? A lot of people drink, smoke, do whatever they do. They say they stressed out, so they smoke. I think that's bullshit, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a lot of different ways to cope with it. But when I feel it's more powerful when you write it out, because you see it. Like I said in my other video, when you actually see what you wrote, and then you look back on it and you see how you overcame whatever obstacle it was, or whatever was holding you back, ultimately I feel like it does make you stronger, and it makes you like a whole better person. But once again, like talking about depression though, it's rough. It's really rough. Like, people get prescribed antidepressants, like, because, you know, they're battling their own demons. Like, when you talk about it, or you just bring it to somebody's attention, in that moment you're vulnerable, right? Now that person can make a choice to either help you, or they make your situation worse. And I would love to say that the people in my life have helped me through my depression. But then again, there's some people out there in the world that have been snaked out. You feel me? That those people that they opened up to made their depression even worse than what it was, or just it was at a point where they couldn't come back naturally from it. Now, not everybody knows the feeling that you're going through. So even though somebody can say like, oh yeah, I relate to everything you're feeling right now, like I felt how you feel, like nobody actually really knows your true pain unless they are you. So like I said previously, man, write it out. it's your choice ultimately if you want to, you know, be vulnerable and talk to somebody about it. But I feel truly expressing yourself through poetry is probably one of the most powerful things in the world. And when, like me, bringing like my poems to my channel, like I started off the first video for this channel of this year with one of the poems that about one of the situations I went through this past year. You know, me constantly doing that on this channel, I mean, it's going to get to that point where I'm going to want to share my poems on this channel. But that was one, like, that's what I wanted to start the year off with. Like, I'm going to start off with a poem, but I'm going to basically talk about all things poetry on this channel. It's a sensitive topic, bro. And so you got to pick and choose your words. You got to pick and choose who you, especially the words with who you're talking to and who you associate yourself with. I'd rather anybody just express themselves through poetry than wind up killing themselves. You feel me? Like, there's people out here that think they're worthless. Express yourself through poetry. When you are talking about depression in your poetry, you gotta bring your full self out, because you gotta understand nobody else is gonna read it unless you want them to read it. Nobody else is gonna know unless you want them to know. So bring your full self out through your poetry, and whatever that moment is, if you start crying, or if you do get emotional, because writing poems or just writing in general, when you really are in a moment, it gets rough. So do what you will with that information, but don't let it haunt you for the rest of your life. That's what I'm gonna say. Don't let depression haunt you. Don't let your thoughts trap you, and don't. Ultimately, it's your choice. Do what you will. But anyways, bro, that was the video for today. I hope y'all do enjoy it. I hope, once again, this is a poetry-based channel based off all things poetry. Feel me? I'll see y'all on another Friday. Feel me? Subscribe. And I don't really got to do all that because there's an outro. But until next time, though, man. Peace.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You made it to the end of the video. Give yourself a round of applause. If you haven't subscribed yet,
are you sure about that?
What are you waiting on? There will be a video on the screen. You should click on that and keep enjoying my content. Well, till next time, peace.